Hey y'all, welcome to the Atlanta Dreaming Podcast. This is Joshua, ENFP Hoops, joined by Amber, AmbeeWrites. It's been a little while since we've been here, a little longer than we wanted, but have personal stuff come up for both of us. So we're
Yes.
happy to be back now and in the perfect time.
Yes.
Dream can clinch a playoff spot with a win over the Seattle Storm. Does not matter what the Sky and Sparks do. As long as we win, we do not depend on any other team. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's exciting. How are
Very.
you feeling going into it?
Um, I'm hoping for a great showing. Like any given night, anything crazy could happen. Seattle literally has nothing to lose. Those are always dangerous teams to play. But
It's true.
do I feel like we could pull it together and get a win? Absolutely. We got to remember what happened last time that we played Seattle and we eased up off the gas. So we got to go out there, guns blazing, and stick it to them. Because if we don't, it could be a repeat of last time. So we
I
need to
agree.
just
And
clinch this damn spot.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but like with these teams that have been eliminated, if you go off to a fast start, they don't really have anything in the engine like that's driving them to come back. Like, because
hmm
they know there's not a whole lot on the line besides like pride and everything. And even the coaches, if the game doesn't start right, they're going to switch the lineups and get other people more minutes and everything rather than focusing on winning the game. I feel
hmm
like that happened in our game against Phoenix earlier where we started 19-2 or something like that. Um, that's what I want. Like, I just want to
hmm
go out there, be like, hey, this isn't the game for you all. You know, it goes along with the rest of your season. Don't even worry about tonight. That's what I want to do
Exactly.
to them. Because,
Exactly.
um, yeah, just to be blunt, since the All-Star break, Dream Basketball has not been as fun as I'd like. We haven't been a
Yeah.
playoff team since the Mystics more than a month ago. I think that was on like June 30th. Like, yeah, not
Yeah.
great. We've lost games to the Fever. We've lost games to the Storm, Mercury. Like, we should not be in the situation we are now. And yeah, I just want to take care of business. I'm hoping the break helps us. Because again, we have talked
hmm
about it all season long. We know the potential of this team. Like, just
hmm
the big three alone with Ryan, Leash, and Cheyenne, like, that should be
hmm
enough to make us a for sure playoff team right now. That the Lynx and Mystics clinched before us with the records they have. It hurts me a little, like, because I know we are so much more talented than this. We've had games that we've won.
hmm
Yeah, we could have won. Like, man, but what are some of your more thoughts?
Man, it's literally been nerve wracking to watch them because I had such high hopes. Like I still do because like we're gonna make the playoffs. That's just we have to. We have
Have
to.
to,
Like I there's too much talent on this team to not make the playoffs. That's we just get that out of our minds.
because we are
But
going to have long conversations on changes after if it doesn't happen. So,
oh absolutely. But
so
I really feel like like in the beginning of the season, there was a little bit more continuity. Like when we went on that long streak, like it was a beautiful time, and then all of a sudden, everything came to a screeching halt. It's like everybody. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody on the team because like I think it's way more variables than just the players. But I will say it's like how do you go from being like looking like a top four team to barely sneaking
to
in?
where we
That's
are
just
now, we've been
weird.
3-7 in our last 10, and it's around the same if you go further back and everything. Like, it has not been
Yeah,
fun.
it's been a
And
bad stretch.
I want to talk about rotations in a bit, but I just want to go over 4 stat categories comparing first halves and second halves.
hmm
And I feel like there's a trend in how certain players are used in the first half and second half too, which I want to go over with you.
All right.
But points per game in the first half, 43.2, second in the league the last 10 games. Second half, 36 points, 12th in the league. Points allowed, 38.3. And sorry, the points were second per league, what we had scored. And then what we allowed first in the 38.3. And then 42.4 points allowed in the second half. That's 11th. Rebounds, 19.1 in the first half, second place. 15.3 in the second half, 10th place. And then last one I want to go over, turnovers. We average 5.5 in the first half, first place. 6.9 in the second half, seventh place. So just huge differences. You can't put that down on one player or just one instance. It's a bigger theme if it's just impacting so many things where we're being outplayed, outmaneuvered, and consistently in the second half. So what are some of your thoughts on that first, like things that contribute to the differences between the halves? And then I'll talk too.
That damn rotation. That rotation is not working. It's not working. Like the first half, it usually is more consistent. It's like we're playing, like we're getting people in, we're getting fresh legs in. You know, the ball is moving a little bit more, and then once the second half comes, like they come out of the half, like the third quarter, like the beginning of the third quarter usually is like it's still like they're trying to propel themselves through the rest of the half, but it gets stuck like somewhere like in that in the middle of the third quarter. Usually they start losing leads and they start forgetting, like they start to look tired, they start to look sluggish, and then the ball sticks. Everybody's looking around. It's frustrating to watch. I must say, it's very frustrating.
And yet, like, there's a couple positions where we rest players. Like the one, like throughout the game, we switch between D-Rob, Ari, and Haley. And for the most part, we go with like the hotter hand and everything. Like we talked about the 3-player rotation, but that's not my biggest gripe. Like everybody's pretty fresh within that group. Same with like the 4 or 5 positions. Like it feels like it's been a switch between Monique and Nas, especially since Nia's injury. And whoever's playing the best has been getting more consistent minutes. So that's been okay too. And then you get like Rupert and Ami here. They play in the first half. We don't see them in the second half, regardless of what they do.
Exactly.
AD especially, I don't get it. Like, people have talked about their defense and everything, but there was one game earlier in the second, like in the first half, they had 2 steals, and then we didn't play them at all until the very end when it was already too late. Actually, that was our last game against Minnesota that happened. And, like, I think AD has been really consistent, and we talked about this before, Amber, like, if Coach was not going to trust AD to get consistent minutes throughout the game, as much as a feel-good story they are and everything, like to her in Atlanta, they should have made a trade and everything and gone for someone that they were actually going to trust. I personally, if I were the coach, would have trusted AD with how they played. They've knocked down clutch shots. It hasn't just been long-range jumpers. Like, they've done some fakes, ball handling to get to the mid-range to have a higher chance of knocking down the shot. Like, I've liked their game as a bench player, and Leash and Ryan need the rest. Like,
they do.
Oh, it's really frustrating how much they've been beat up. And like, sorry, go ahead.
But all I was gonna say about that is, like, when you are riding Leash and Ryan the way that Coach has, it's no wonder that, especially Ryan is taking a hit because she's sluggish because she's playing damn near the whole game.
Yeah, like she played over 40 minutes in that overtime game, so
which is insane, especially when she's not really being able to like consistently hit her shot like that. Like, she's sluggish, she's tired. You can tell she's tired. But it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're supposed to give your star some time. Like, playing your starter over your main star over like 35 minutes a game is kind of crazy to me, with all the depth that you have. But we don't have as much wing depth. I understand that, but maybe slide Haley over. Haley knows how to play the 3.
Definitely. She played a lot of it at
Like,
Stanford.
I'm
LA
just
played the
saying,
3 at
LA,
South Carolina at times. Like,
that's when you get creative, in my opinion, to try
because
to
you need to
combat
give
that.
them rest. Even if it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, I'm thinking like 35 minutes max in the first half, like,
Max.
sorry, for an entire regulation game. That's how it should be. It should be somewhere between 32 and 35.
Yes.
Like,
That's
like during the
spot.
regular season, that's what it should be. But when you get to the playoffs, I can understand playing them more like that.
That's how it's
Because
supposed to be.
but this is something that you train them for, like, throughout the season. It's a plan to use them, have them be like the primary player that's in, but you're collecting minutes throughout the season so they're fresh by the playoffs. We're not going to get that. We are going to have good effort and everything. We can knock off anybody.
Yeah.
But do I have a lot of trust that we are going to get the full impact of Ryan and Leash right now with how they've been used? I hope so, but I don't have a lot of confidence because playoffs, there's not breaks and everything where you get, like, especially after the first round, like, it's best of 3, and then you're starting that next series. There are not breaks. You're not going to get another, like, random 5-day break
at
like,
all.
It's a complete grind. So, yeah,
exactly.
It's really frustrating when I do believe we had the players on the roster if they were used differently to, like Nia was a huge blow, but we weren't even using her as a 3 much this season.
Much to my dismay.
Yeah, much to your dismay. Like 95% of her minutes, at least that was at the 4. Like, I don't recall many moments where we put her at the 3. So,
which didn't make sense to me. You got all these 4s.
LA.
You got all these 4s that's just sitting on the bench collecting dust.
Exactly. So,
but, like I said, I'm not a professional.
No, neither of us are. But
we're not a professional. But I'm just saying this is my observation. Yep.
You're not a regular on here because you know what you're gonna get with us. You're just gonna get some hot takes. We're gonna look ridiculous sometimes, and other times we're gonna look smart. Amber more times than me.
Yep.
But
well, this is from him, not me.
It's the truth. But yeah, again, like what I said at the beginning, I just want us to put our foot down and just show like it's not going to be close. It's going to be more a celebration for the fan base that we're going to be clinching a playoff berth.
Yes.
Because if, like, again, we should win this game, there should be no reason with our roster composition compared to Seattle's. But if we lose this game, it gets a little dicey because we play Washington and Dallas after this. And then we have to, if we don't win any games, we have to depend on the easiest one will be Chicago, not like losing one game at least. Then they play Connecticut at the end of the season. You know they're not known for resting their
Connecticut.
Stars, so.
Connecticut don't give a damn.
Exactly.
I've never seen a team.
There's a high chance that
they're gonna play Alyssa and DB their regular minutes, which is insane.
But at times, like Chicago's different. Like the Fever have been coming on strong at the end too, but it was just too late. But compared to Phoenix and Seattle, even LA recently, like Chicago has a better roster by far than those teams. Like they're missing Gardner and Harrison. Like that really would have helped their depth, but they're still a decent team. Like Ka can take over games. Court's been a surprising playmaker. Mabry can get hot. Will's good on the defensive end. Smith has been a surprise this year. Like they have a decently fun roster to like, but
it's just the construction is not great.
Exactly. So I do not want it to come down to them having one of the games that they can have against Connecticut, and then that's it. Like we need to take care of business tonight. I want to win other games too because I want to get to that 6th seed where we're playing Connecticut. I think that's our best shot matchup wise, but first things first, clinch the playoffs. Like I would rather play the Aces in the first round than not make it at all. So,
period.
Yeah,
that's how that works. I'm telling you, this is. I'm really trying to like not be like super dramatic, because like I know this team is good. I know they can make some noise, but like the way we've been playing, the way we've been playing is just not. That's not Atlanta Dream basketball. It's just not.
And then like the ball's just stuck more too. Like in the first half, like everybody feels like they're more in a flow, and then for whatever reason, it's just not there in the second. So
yep.
And it has not been, even in the first half, the last 10 games, it's not anywhere close to what we were during our winning streak. Like we were consistently top 3 in the league, like during that streak, and like our playmaking and creating opportunities. It's rough. It's like Steph has talked about, our other host in the playback, my wife, that like we play for ourselves trying to score instead of work as a team. And that happens a lot.
Yep. Everybody's playing iso ball.
Basketball.
It's frustrating, but I feel like hopefully we're gonna wake up. I feel like we will.
I do too.
Wake up, seize the day.
Like there should be no reason again that we should lose this game. And like we have the confidence we have all season that we can do this. It's just how we played. Like it does not give us like because if we were playing the way we should have, we wouldn't be in this situation at all. So
exactly.
Yeah. Can we absolutely blow them out? Definitely.
Yeah, easily.
We also lost to them. That was on the road. We're at home. Like that should help create energy and everything too. So
yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
Me too. So which player, like outside of Ryan, Lee, Cheyenne, like will, based on like Seattle's lineup, have the biggest impact outside of those 3 in determining if we're able to pull away or not tonight?
Let me see. I feel like possibly D-Rob.
Okay.
She's standing out foremost in my head because I feel like, point guard play is always important. And the thing about it is, like, I feel like we're more settled when D-Rob is in the flow, especially when she's scoring. When she scores, that opens up everything for us. I feel like if she can give us like maybe like 8-10 points throughout the game, if she's hitting consistently, if she's like getting to the rim, making plays, that's a thumbs up for us.
Exactly.
So hopefully, if she can get going, maybe we can get all that in the first half because like she's done it before.
She has.
Like she still got something left in the tank.
And she's been like more of a shooter this season too. Like I love the initiative she's taken. Like, and it hasn't been forced. Like it's been in rhythm and everything. She has like a little bit of a 3-point game she didn't have really going into the season. So, yeah. And I would not be opposed to signing D-Rob. This is going a little ahead, but it would take us, I would say, making the playoffs and at least winning a playoff game and everything. Like we would need to see something with this lineup that there's something to continue on with. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
But I've loved her as a leader on the team. Like, she knows her role. Like, man. But for me, the X factors, I'm going to cheat a little and pick 2. I mentioned them earlier. But Naz and Monique, especially in the rebounding game, like, because that's one of the strengths for Seattle this season. Like, the backcourt is definitely younger, at times a little more consistent, but the front court, like especially with Magmagor, who is one of my favorite players, it's like just a beast in the paint. We want to limit the opportunities for them on the offensive glass, and then for us and everything, like getting more opportunities if shots don't go down the first time. So I think the battle in the paint is going to be crucial in this game being close or not. So if we can mitigate that, like that's been one of the things that keeps them close in the games. If we're able to stay even or close to, I think we'll have the advantage, unless Jewel has one of her games where if she plays like she has at times this season, doesn't matter who she's playing, how her teammates are playing at times. Like she's gonna keep them win and will them to stay in that game. So
absolutely,
disrupting her would be good too. And Leash and Ryan, whoever's guarding her, are definitely have the capability to do that. So yeah,
man, I'm Jewel Lloyd is one of those players that like she can be incredibly frustrating to play against because no matter how good you think you got her locked up, she's not. She needs that much space to get that shot off. She's going to score, like she scores in bunches. She can drop 40 on your head easily. So locking her up is like main priority, but like
Sammy Whitcomb can knock down shots too.
Like oh my god, like they have so many scary players. Like,
and another thing I did not mention, our 3-point defense has not been the best by any means.
Not.
So
it hasn't.
But again, if we're playing our level, it doesn't matter that they knock down a few threes or like get some opportunities on the glass and everything. If we're playing our game, like their game does not compare to us at our highest level. If we're both playing at our highest levels, like it's still a wrap. So
we gotta get it. We got to get it. No option.
I want Haley to have a good game. Like I'm not feeling the same feelings I was during the Vegas game when I said she was going to score over. I said she was going to get 30, and she just fell short. If she had played a little more, I would have been right. But I'm not feeling that. But I still think she's going to make some impact plays. Like, man, I'm just so high on her. Like, she is absolutely the future at that position. She hasn't gotten enough playing time to be the starter next year. But she's shown enough that I know you're on the same page with me on this, that she's not necessarily like a pure point guard, like she can play multiple positions, but like she was meant to be at the point with like her confidence with ball handling. Her shot's been getting better when she's been able to pour into that. Her reads, like, man, she is going to be such a good one. Then her size advantage on the glass that you don't get with a lot of point guards.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
That's the main
really
thing.
Excited.
Man, I am super, super excited to see like how she progresses in her career with us, of course, because like she shouldn't go anywhere else. Like, cause look at us, we're here, we drafted you, boo. Stay with us forever and ever. But like honestly though, like she really is such a smart player. Especially for her to be that young, like her basketball IQ is like insane.
It really is.
Cause like it's rare that I've seen her go out there and not know what she's gonna do with the ball. Like she's
trying to do a little too much at times, but there's a difference between that, and just looking lost in like a deer in headlights and everything. And I haven't felt that. Exactly.
She never looks lost. But like when she starts to like streamline and know. Like when she has more time to like really fill out the offense and like it be geared more towards her as a playmaker, that is going to be when we get the best Haley.
I agree.
And we got I hope we have so much time to get to like, like navigate that. Because like I can see her wheels churning every time she goes out there. Like she's so smart. She's so freaking smart. So hopefully, fingers crossed that we get Haley at the PG a lot more next year. I'm hoping so.
And I know this is a little early for off-season talk and everything, but this season has not gone great for LA by any means. But for Vegas, it sure has. Like, there's more and more teams that are more focusing on having multiple ball handlers. And I could see us doing that. Like, if we get a star point guard, like when, Ryan or Leash are on the bench, like having, unnamed free agent Skylar Diggins-Smith or Jordan Canada or someone like that, and then you have Haley Jones out there as well.
That would be beautiful.
That can be a dominant
because it works. It works.
And it's even worked at times with D-Rob and Aerie when Aerie's playing the 2. So,
which is her natural position. Might add.
And that is not an insult. It's just
it's not. It's just facts.
It's just more fits what her game is and everything. It doesn't mean that we're saying that she can't pass, because her assist numbers have gotten a lot better than her 2 seasons.
But she is a natural too.
Playing style, like how she attacks, just her pace, it's better if she's not controlling as much on the offense on what we're doing than someone like D-Rob or Haley. So
exactly. But back to the 2-point guard lineups, especially one of those players that you named I feel like she elevates her game. Jordan Canada. She elevates her game when she has a secondary playmaker beside her, because it does wonders when you have 2 people running the show as opposed to just one. I don't know what exactly that is. Just it's something about the way the ball moves. The ball, it almost never sticks when you have 2 playmakers that are out there. Just it makes for a better offensive flow for me. I like watching more when there's 2 or 3 playmakers. Now, not to say that we don't already have those, because Ryan is a playmaker for us.
Definitely.
Leash is a playmaker for us. But for it to be more of a primary thing, especially from the point guard spot, it's more innate. And it doesn't I feel like Ryan's job is more to score. That's just
I would agree.
I feel like
Leash's too.
Yeah, it's their job to score and to be set up. Even though they can set themselves up, it flows better when you have somebody that can get you the ball in the spots that you like to get the ball. That's just me. But
especially the first read is so important, that first pass. Because again, Ryan and Leash can make that feed, but put them into position to make a play, and they're not just isolated and then they're just forced to pass it back or make a simple pass and everything.
Exactly.
Put it in position to either try to make a move and score or draw the defense, and then they can find the open player and everything. So I'm not gonna lie, I have not gone as much of Ryan and Leash as I would like with them, because there were times this season where oh my gosh, we are unstoppable. Ryan and Leash going, and then add in Cheyenne and everything, and then we're boom, we're a top 4 team. Because again, there were times we knocked off on one road trip, we knocked off Connecticut and New York. We can be that team, and it's just really frustrating. And I'm going to talk about this more in the offseason, but I have to talk about it a little. But it is disturbing to me that there have been recurring themes from last year that we're getting this year again.
Yes.
And specifically with those rotations and which players are causing us to have the best flow in the first half, and we don't play him in the second half sometimes and everything. Because AD was a part of us having that flow sometimes this season. Maya Caldwell last year was a part of that. Haley's had it this season, and she doesn't play. Heck, I've even seen it with Aerie, where she's playing really well, and then we don't play him. Aerie in the second half was really good for us, and then we didn't play him in overtime until later, and the game was pretty much out of hand by that point. She was... one of the better ball handlers in that game and everything, one of the bigger impacts. So there's just not consistency. There's more emphasis to me. This is to me on playing with the core and who's trusted the most, rather than who's been playing the best and who's going to put us in the best position to win off of that, rather than the full experience and everything, their full playing career or whatever goes into the lineup decisions.
Absolutely.
Because the only reason Nas got more minutes last year was due to injuries and everything, and then she earned more starts after that. And then this season, it went up and down, but especially after Nia got hurt, like Naz's been put in a bigger situation and she's taken advantage again. Like, it's just frustrating.
It's no coincidence that she's been, like, you give her
Because
more
it's hard to
playing
get into
time.
rhythm when you're playing that little and you don't know when you're going to go in.
Exactly.
And if Nia had been at the 3, that would have been one less player that would have been worried about minutes or not able to get into a groove. So, but we're at 6:30 Eastern though. This is when we want to leave. Normally we go a lot longer and we have another segment, but we're doing this right before a game, so we're definitely going to do a longer episode coming up.
Yes.
But we want to get ready for Dream for Storm. Join us on
Absolutely.
Playback.
Please.
If you haven't joined us, just search Atlanta Dreamin' on the Playback app. It's available on Apple and Android, Google Play. But yeah, we have a good time. Hopefully we're going to be having a good time tonight. I do not want to be stressed. I just want to be enjoying us making the playoffs for the first time since 2018. Yes. So hopefully we get to do some celebrating, and
we should.
Yeah. Amber doesn't have to pull her belt out. So
yeah, that's the most important. I do not want to pull my belt out. I love you guys. It's hurting me more than it's hurting you when I have to pull my belt out. Honestly, I love you guys so much. TT love y'all, but like y'all gotta get together. Talking about everything, like the whole. I just want y'all.
I get it. Yep, yes. I get you.
Yes.
But all right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We will see some of you in about 30 minutes for Dream vs. Storm on Playback.
Yep.
Have a good night. Bye.
See y'all later.